Hello everyone, my name is Arnaito Onesimus, a teacher of ICT and Computer Studies. In this video, we are going to look at computer management. Let's first look at the terminologies. One of the terminologies that we have is file. File is a piece of information created by any computer software or program. For example, a document, a photo, etc. Then folder. This is the virtual storage area of your files, programs, etc. on the computer. Briefcase. This is the virtual storage area where you would hold your files, programs, etc. on your computer and allows synchronization or generation across devices and other computers. Let's look at icons. Icons, these are small graphic images or pictures that represent files, programs, or a command. Then computer literacy. This refers to the knowledge and ability to use computer technology efficiently. Booting. This refers to the process of starting up a computer. Let's look at booting process. Booting process is the process of starting up a computer. And booting has got two types. One, cold booting, another one, warm booting. Let's look at cold booting. Cold booting is the initial process of turning on a computer after it has been powered off completely. So in other words, when the computer has been shut down, so the process of opening it again or turning it on is the one that we refer to as cold booting. So let's look at the process involved in a cold boot. The power supply sends signal to the components in the systems unit, and then the processor finds the ROM chips that contain the BIOS, and then the BIOS performs the power on self-test, which checks the components like the mouse, keyboard, monitor, etc. And then the result of the post are compared with the data in a CMOS chip. And then the BIOS looks for the system files on the boot device. The system files and the kernel of the operating system load onto RAM from the boot device. And then the operating system loads configuration information and displays the welcome screen. Now let's look at warm booting. This is the process of restarting a computer which is already on. It is also referred to as soft boot. So in other words, when your computer is on, the process of restarting it is the one that we refer to as warm booting. A warm boot can be accomplished by either clicking the restart button or by pressing Ctrl, Alt, Delete keys simultaneously. So let's look at the conditions which necessitate a warm boot, or the conditions that require a warm boot. When the computer locks or freezes, when a computer slows down after installing a new software program, after uninstalling software program, after installing new hardware device like a printer, and after changing CMOS or the BIOS setup. All these conditions after being worked upon, the computer it's necessary to be restarted. Computer program. A computer program is a set of instructions that govern the operation of the computer. So in other words, the instructions that govern or that they tell or that help us to operate a computer are the one that we refer to as a computer program. Ways of starting a computer program. So we click the start button, we look for all programs, choose the program name on the program list that appears. Double click a program icon on the desktop, click any program icon displayed on the taskbar. So all these ways can be considered while starting up a computer program. File management. File management refers to the fundamental methods of naming, storing, and handling files. A file is a collection of related data stored under the same name called the file name. Any document is stored as a file by the computer. So all files or whichever file that we store in our computer will always be stored as a file, and each file name has two parts, that is the file name and the file extension. Let's look at file extensions. A file extension is the end part of the file name that is separated by a dot containing characters based on the program used to create that file. The file extension helps the computer user to 1. Identify the file type, easily locate files, identify what program to associate the file with, and how to properly open it using the correct program. Let's look at common file extensions and their associated programs. We have Microsoft Word. The file extension of Microsoft Word is usually displayed as .doc or .docx. Microsoft Excel is usually as .xls or .xlsx. And then a photo, it is usually displayed as .jpeg or .jpj, and many others. Then Microsoft PowerPoint, it is .ppt or .pptx. Microsoft Access, its file extension is .bm, .bbmx, and then an image is .bpm. System files .sys, Microsoft Windows Move file .avi, and web page files, these ones are always displayed as .html. Then a folder is a collection of files and other subfolders stored in the same location. Common utilities. These are general purpose programs that enhance or that boost the performance of the computer. So the utilities, these are softwares that help or that enhance the performance of the computer. They are designed to configure, analyze, optimize, and maintain a computer in a normal working state. Some utility programs are included with the operating systems, for example, disk repairing programs, while others are purchased separately by the user. For example, the Notion Disk Doctor. Examples of these utility programs are: we have sorting utility, merging utility, backup utility, etc., as we look at them in this video. Functions of each utility program. One, we have the file viewer. So this is a utility that displays the content of a file. So in other words, the program or the software that helps us to view or to see the content of a file is the one that we refer as file viewer. And then secondly, you have file or data compression utility. This is used to squeeze large files so as they can require less storage space. Sorting utility. This is used to take in data and arrange it in a specified location by the user. Compression utility. This one reduces the size of the files to free disk space. Merging utility combines data from two or more files to form one general file. Antivirus utility. This prevents, detects, or removes viruses from the computer. Uninstaller utility. This removes programs. Folder management utility. This is used for creating, viewing, deleting, and rearranging files and folders. Disk defragmenter. This finds fragmented files on the hard disk and organizes them in a contiguous manner. So in other words, it collects the dispatched files so that they can be organized into the contiguous way. Diagnostic utility. This compiles technical computer information and helps to outline any identified problems. The system profilers provide detailed information about the software installed and hardware attached to the computer. Backup utility. This makes a duplicate copy of every file on the hard disk which can be stored on the CD or floppy diskette. Antivirus utility: this prevents, detects, and removes viruses. For example, we have Smartov, Avira, and etc. Let's look at the screensaver utility. This causes a computer monitor to automatically display a moving image or graphic after a period of time when no input device is in use. Originally, screensaver utility was introduced to prevent phosphor burn-in or ghosting effect for computer monitors. And screensavers have practical uses to computer use, which include entertainment, security, advertisement, and information. So that is an example of a screensaver. Let's look at print management. In order to print a document, a printer must be attached to the computer. So in other words, a printer must be connected to a computer. So before one prints a file, it should be previewed. So in other words, you should see whether the information or the file that you want to print out is the real one. So print preview means to look at the document before it is printed out, so as to identify missing content or to add on or delete some. To preview a file, what do? We click on File, then we click on File in the right corner of the window, point at Print, then we click on Print Preview. To print, we click File, that is on the Office button. We click Print to open the print dialog box, and then select the printer to be used in the box labeled name. For example, we have the HP LaserJet Professional 1606DM. Click Properties to specify the paper type, e.g. A4, A5, etc. Specify the number of copies to be printed. And then thereafter select the range of pages to print by clicking on either All to print the entire document or Current to print the displayed page, or Selection to print a selected area. Click OK to print a document. So there's also a shortcut that we use when we want to print out a file or a document, and that is Ctrl+P, and then we follow the prompts. Thanks for watching. For more videos, use my Airtel line, which is on WhatsApp, and then you access those videos of ICT and computer studies. I remain Alnaitwe Onesmus.